Hello everyone, I'm RL Writer and I do both book and writing videos, and today's video is a bit of an informal yap sesh where I try to convince you to read a favorite series of mine. It is right here. I have them all in paperback, which I'm really happy about, but anyway, I'll just have to launch right into this or I'll be rabbit trailing and then I'll have to restart this video again. But this is the Renegades Trilogy by Marissa Meyer. This is the first book in the series, right here, Renegades. Very pretty cover. And here, let me grab the next two books just to show you real fast. Arch Enemies, and then come here, Supernova. Now, this is one of my favorite series by her, but it's not my favorite. Marissa Meyer, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, does really great fantasy, or fantasy-esque. This is definitely fantasy-esque. It also has a lot of sci-fi vibes, so if you like a fantasy and sci-fi cross mixed with dystopia, then you would absolutely love this book from the get-go. She is the author of the Lunar Chronicle series, Stars Above, which is a short story collection, but I honestly, her books are just really good in general, and these in particular are great if you're fine with chunky reads all the way through, because this one has over 500 pages. It is not for a quick, light little read. I guess I'll just go straight into character. Why not? So the two main characters are Nova and Adrian, and oh my gosh, they both made me want to scream at some points. But so Nova is a supervillain and Adrian is like a superhero type thing, and I just realized I need to explain some of the world building of this series a little bit. So if you like, you know, the dystopia superhero, supervillain, morally gray vibes, you would love this, because it's kind of like after the Age of Anarchy, where this villain, Ace Anarchy, kind of let the whole city go a little wild. And the Renegades, which is an OG squad of like 6, wind up defeating him in this big battle. And then about 10 years later is when this story takes place. The Renegades kind of are the governing body of this area, and even around the world a little bit. It was really interesting because I felt a lot of New York City vibes, but it was different at the same time. Nova is Ace Anarchy's niece, and she was raised by the surviving supervillains that were closest to him, which is insane, but even more insane is Adrian's mom, who was killed, like when he was little, and his two dads who adopted him are part of the Renegades. So yeah, it's just kind of insane, mostly because, well, it's kind of obvious, but they are shipped, and it is so crazy because it's like, Nova's plan is to take down the Renegades from within, you know, that type of thing. Adrian is, well, you know, he's also a renegade. And it was insane, because Nova, well, she's still Nova, but she becomes kind of a double agent in a sense, which I can't even. So, okay, she's also known as Nightmare, which is, you know, her supervillain name. But she becomes Insomnia to join the Renegades. Nightmare, she can, with her touch, she can put anyone to sleep, which, like, that's an interesting power. But due to trauma that she went through, she also doesn't have to sleep, which, well, she uses that as her insomnia thing. So, because she, you know, you can't have that tie to your villain identity. I just found it funny. about the whole insomnia thing. But anyway, and then Adrian Everhart, he's one of my favorite characters, is also known as Sketch, and he can bring his drawings and his artwork to life, which was such a cool concept, and I honestly really enjoyed it, because he draws this little velociraptor type thing, and names him Turbo in one of the books. I can't remember which one. But basically, it's a lot of, oh, I'm blanking. I am blanking. Why? Give me a second. It's just the whole plot is insane. You can see, look at all this. It is not a quick and easy. It's like Nova tries to kill Captain Chromium, which is one of Adrian's dads, in like the first 3 chapters. Fails, by the way. And then Adrian is also the Sentinel, who is this kind of vigilante figure that everyone thinks is a Renegade secret project, but the Renegades think he's a supervillain. That was crazy. So yeah, that's book 1. It's so good. I would like highly recommend this to anyone who likes fantasy, sci-fi, superheroes, dystopia, and secret identities. Now, this is going to be a shorter video because I don't think I can talk about it for like 20 minutes on end. But total 5 stars. I am so happy that I own a physical copy of this book, because sometimes, especially with Arch Enemies, I will just reread it, like little sections of it, like my favorite chapters and stuff. It is so good. Anyway, I'm gonna pull up the next 2 books. I will not be doing as much in-depth, which again wasn't uber in-depth because I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. Just a bit of like what's going on in this book, right? Nova and Adrian are still the, main characters. Nova is still insomnia, right? Adrian is still a Sentinel, but things start to get a little crazier. Especially because everything that happened in plot of book 1 is kind of ramping up. They still have their secret identities secret, and I can't even. Nova and Adrian do kind of get together in this book, which I was like, yes! And then the very end of this came, and the start of book 3 came, and I was like, come on, you guys. Come on. But, let's see. Nova is trying to essentially get Ace's helmet, so that way, Ace is here again, right? But she's trying to get his helmet to, like, help him retake over and stuff. And meanwhile, Adrian is trying to figure out how to I guess, I don't know, navigate being both the Sentinel and a Renegade, which is a little interesting because it's a lot of, he's also trying to figure out Nightmare, right? Which is also hilarious because he has a personal vendetta against Nightmare. Guess who's Nightmare? Right? It is, and Nova doesn't like the Sentinel. It's it is so crazy, the secret identities thing. Absolutely just wonderful book though. And this one's actually the shortest one, but if you read Renegades and think that plot is crazier, this is way more crazy. It's like genuinely insane. I want to know how Marissa Meyer comes up with this stuff so I can like come up with this stuff. Well, of course not copy, but like be that genius. And now I know I told you like nothing about this book, but I don't want to spoil it. And like literally everything that I could say is spoilers. Let's see. What's one thing that I can say? Just give me a second to like half read through the entire book to find something that I can share. Oh, there's a character named Max. He is the adopted younger brother of Captain Chromium and the Dread Warden, right? You know, that whole thing. He has a power that I'm not going to share, but it makes him dangerous. So he gets quarantined, and then Max is so sweet. I'm sorry. This book is like anyway. So Adrian figures out a way to actually be in the same area as him without Max's powers affecting him. And it is so sweet because only one person has ever been able to get close to Max, and that is Captain Chromium. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't. So that's a fun thing. Let's see. I feel like I'm doing a terrible job of selling this to you. So if you are intrigued, comment that. If you want more videos like this, you know, say that. And subscribe if you want to, I guess. And let me see. Supernova. Do you see that? Okay. Kind of off track, but these covers are so pretty. Look at it. Look at it. Look at how beautiful. Look at that. I don't know. I just really enjoyed these covers. But this one is right around 500 pages. Let me see. Sorry. Almost 550 pages. Yeah, this was a bit of a chore to get through, but it was so much fun. Everyone gets their happily ever after, except for like a handful of characters. I won't tell you who specifically, but it was so sad. I was like, no. And I don't cry when I read books, but this had me close. This had me so close. But Nova and Adrian figures out that Nova is Nightmare, right? All that thing. She gets sent to a prison, which I'm sorry, but come on, the Renegades. You're supposed to, you know, not throw criminals into a max security prison. So, yeah. And then in a twist of events, it turns out Nova isn't Nightmare. She is. But yeah, that happens. And then she's free again. And then in the end, there's this big battle between the Renegades and the, why am I blanking, anarchists, and you know, all that jazz. More people die. Yay. And then boom. Maybe this much is a happy ending. And then some of it's an epilogue. The epilogue is insane. I will not tell you about it, but it makes sense given that I have heard that Marissa Meyer plans on continuing and adding on a new series to this world. And I really hope she does, because I want more of these characters. So, yeah, that was my not great way to pitch these books. You should read them. I highly recommend all of them. I just recommend Marissa Meyer's books in general. Small little announcement. So, I have a video that's coming up, and it is about Storm of Blood. So if you check out my YouTube posts, you will get information about that because I have a post about it out. I don't know if it's the most recent one. I can't remember. But yeah, check it out. Look at it, and then yeah, that's the next video though, just so you guys know. It'll make more sense in my brain when this is out because I'm trying to think ahead a couple of days and I'm not great at that. But yeah, that was me trying to convince you, and now I'm circling the drain. Sorry. Anyway, I'm just going to end the video. I hope you have a great and wonderful day. And just comment if you have any books that you want me to read or recommend or whatever. If you have a video that you would like to see, please tell me. I am actively looking for feedback from you guys, and recommendations, because, I'm a small channel and it means a lot to me when you guys comment. And that's about it. So, bye.